Gold is scarce in Season 4. Even with the changes coming on Tuesday, gold is still going to be one of the more scarce items you're going to have because you're still going to have to re-roll your Masterworks over and over and over again until you get them to actually land on the stats that you want them to land on. So how do we go about making gold? Well, there's the tried and true method of selling gear to a vendor. As you can see here, I have 415 million. So if I sell a full inventory of legendaries, and don't worry, I made sure all of these are junk legendaries. So we're going to sell a full inventory real quick. We went from 415 million to 417 million. So roughly about 2 million gold per inventory. So if you wanted to do this, you would just go to, basically just go spam Hell Tides, because that is the fastest way to fill your inventory. And if you're going to be doing that, you might as well pick up all of the rares and the legendaries and just keep going back to town and just dumping and trying to get gold that way. That is one of the ways that you can do it. It is not the best way to do it. It's probably the least effective way to get gold. So what's the second way? Well, second way is going to be, where to put them? Whisper caches. So Whisper quests, really easy. You can run the dungeons in roughly about 3 to 4 minutes per dungeon. Each dungeon that is a Whisper quest is worth 5 of the favors. 10 favors get you a cache, so roughly about 6 to 10 minutes, depending on your speed, will get you a whole Whisper cache. Now, we're at 417.47, so 417.5 million gold. We're going to do a regular first, which is going to net us roughly around 3 million gold. Now let's do a chaos, because I got one of these as well. The chaos generally gives you a bit more, so we're at 420.3. Run around a little bit, pick it all up, good to go. Now we got 426.4, so that one's worth 6 million. So regular cash is going to be worth 3 million. Your chaos caches will be worth 6 million. And then finally we have a greater cache. I was like, it was Helm, so if I could have gotten a greater chaos, that would have been amazing. So we're going from 426.4 up to 429. So it's another 3 million. So chaos caches will always pay you out the most amount that you're going to be able to get. And obviously this is also going to give you boss summoning materials, which you can also sell. This is going to give you some greater affix legendaries, a whole bunch of things that you can, turn around and sell later on, whether it be to a vendor or to another player. Now, getting to selling to another player. Some items in this game are worth a lot of money, and I mean a lot of money. So, for example, the chest that I'm wearing, now I found this, I didn't buy it. This is just one that happened to drop, and I was insanely lucky. I got a double affix, and they were both affixes that I was looking for. Then I just rerolled armor so that I can actually make the armor cap, and it was good to go. And they've both actually upgraded with the Masterworking, so I'm extremely pleased with this chest. Don't look at the disobedience on there. I need to change that. I got this recently and I just haven't changed the aspect. Don't mind that. However, how much is this chest worth? Well, actually searched it up on Mr. Website here. And if you go to Diablo.trade, which is the trade website I like to use because it is the one that spawned basically from the Discord server that was where everyone was trading back in, the release of the game, Season 1 and Season 2, I believe. And then eventually they got off of Discord and made an actual website, which I think works a bit better than the Discord server was working. It allows you to actually list an item and just kind of wait until you hear the notification sound that someone has whispered you. So these are essentially what would be for my chest. So if you want, you can go to filters, which is right here. And then you would come down and you would just add an effect group. So you add a group, you put in whatever effect you want. You can actually select if it is a greater affix as well. And then you can actually hit, once that you select it, it will automatically resort what is on screen and allow you to see the prices for those. So these ones that are being sold are just make an offer. Let's go down to ones. So looking at 900 million, 900 million, a billion, a billion, a billion, 1.2, 1.5. So roughly about 900 million to a billion gold for this one item. I can't, attest to how fast they're going to sell because I haven't tried to sell items on this yet. I do know that they do sell because otherwise people wouldn't be listing them. However, what I like to sell and what works really good for me, let me go into here and let's go to show my sold listings, is boss sets. So Duriel boss set, I sold for 19 million per set. Not all 7 of them. That's 19 million per set. So 19 million times 7 equals a large number. Varshan sets, 8 million per, 31 sets sold. Is a lot of gold right there. Andariel sets, 5 of them for 13 million apiece. Now the boss sets are going to come from different locations. Varshan, obviously, those drop literally everywhere. You finish a Legion, you get Varshan materials. You finish a Helltide, or you're doing stuff throughout the Helltide, you're getting Varshan materials. You finish a world boss, you get Varshan materials. Varshan materials drop literally everywhere, but he's one of the bosses needed to summon Duriel. So Varshan sets sell really good. The Gregor sets used to sell good on previous seasons. However, now they're actually pretty much junk because Helltide is life and everybody has Living Steel out the wazoo. So Living Steel doesn't really sell at all. Varshan sets still do. But you can really just run Gregor and one-shot him and get the eggs needed to actually spawn Duriel really quickly and efficiently if you want to, because the sets themselves are not going to sell. And you can actually just sell the individual materials, but they don't sell as quickly as the boss set. And of course, Andariel sets, most of the time I've gotten these from world boss drops, or actually just from doing Helltides on alt so I can get Resplendent Sparks. You get them guaranteed for free. Now, one of the other materials that sells extremely well and you might want to look into is actually going to be the, hold on, going to go under boss materials, go all the way down, and we're looking for the Stygian stones. As you can see, this person here wants to buy 30 of them for 11 million gold each, but generally you're looking at 12 to 13 million gold per Stygian stone. They're very rare this season. They're hard to get. They have a really low drop rate, but everybody needs them for the tormented bosses. So if you have an influx of these, it's going to be a lot of really easy gold for you to just acquire without really having to try. Now, the big thing is, it's up to you. Do you want to go and use the trade site? So far, I've had some pretty good success with it. Before actually using the trade site, I was sitting at about generally between 1 and 10 million gold. 30 minutes of using the trade site, selling those boss sets I just showed you, and that shot me over 400 million. I spent some doing some masterwork, and now I'm going to hold off on the masterwork until Tuesday when the prices go down. However, any of the masterworks for re-rolling your masterworks are still going to be expensive. So let's say I don't like this one getting maximum life. The cost to reset your masterwork is still going to be 5 million gold. That was not in the patch notes of changing. So 5 million is still going to just come out plus the basic little tiny bits of materials. But say I wanted to reset this one because I didn't want critical strike damage and golem damage. I definitely want the golem damage, but maybe I don't want the critical strike damage. Maybe I want more minion attack speed, or maybe I just want more intellect. Whatever the case may be, if you want to reset it, it's still going to cost you 5 million gold. So every time you mess up your masterworking, you're going to have to reset it. So if you want to min-max and get a triple masterwork on a specific affix, that's going to get expensive really fast. So you're definitely going to want to employ some of these gold making methods so that you can keep your gold up so you're not having to scramble whenever it comes time to masterwork. So if you get a really, really good item, and generally what I say is if you get any that are like double or triple affix. So this one I have a triple affix. Yeah, the third one's poison resist. So I would just go onto the site and search for a ring with max life and intelligence as being a greater affix. See what the random price is. This one I have a dagger with in overpower, and I would probably want to re-roll that lucky hit to restoring primary resource. Not that big of a deal, but int and overpower would be really good for like a blood surge or a blood lance build. So this could actually be worth something. And you would just go pull up, handy dandy Mr. Trade site over here and say, okay, I want to just go marketplace, go here, filter, come on down, add group, and then you want to add the effect. And let's say we want int intelligence and make it a greater affix. Add another group. Let's shrink that group. And this one was overpower. So overpower damage and greater affix. So now that we have our two greater affixes inputted, we can see these are selling for, okay, pass to make an offer, 500 million gold. 350 million gold, but that's for a two-hander. This is for just a regular one-handed scythe. here we go with that. So 40 million, 10 million. The price varies. It depends on what kind of weapon it is. This is a ring, so that's actually going to be much lower. But for weapons, you're going to be looking for apparently from 40 million all the way upwards of over 100 million gold. So if you find items that have 2 or 3 affixes on them, price check them on the Diablo.trade and see if it's going to work out for you. List them up. I mean, the worst thing is nobody buys them. You wait a week, maybe lower it randomly throughout the week just to entice somebody to buy it. And if no one does, just fine, just vendor it. You can just get whatever the gold it's actually worth. So this one, if I were to vendor, 54,000 gold. If no one's buying it, no one's buying it. It's worthless at that point. If I don't have a use for it, I'm just going to vendor it. So that would be my advice to you. Again, I have another Golem Mastery here, but this one I've already masterworked before this one dropped. So if I could sell this or give this away, I would, because that is a huge affix that literally any Golem Necromancer wants right now. So look out specifically for this. If you're a Necromancer and you see a chest drop that has greater affix on it, check that chest. If it has Golem Mastery and you don't plan on playing Golems, that's fine. Sell it. There's a lot of people looking for that chest specifically, as well as an amulet with greater affix at Hellbent Commander. And now I can't speak for the other classes since my primary class is Necromancer, but look out for specific, greater affixes that you would want for your build. I mean, somebody else probably wants it for their build as well. So that's all I have for you guys today. Have a nice day and happy gold hunting.